Hello, everybody. Thanks for coming in and watching the Leon LeGray podcast. This is episode 160 of the Leon LeGray podcast. Hello, everybody. I hope you're doing really, really well. Oh my goodness. So I wanted to just get into talking about Windows 11. That pretty much a presentation that I missed out on around Thursday for plenty of reasons. I've had things to do. Didn't get time to watch the presentation. So because due to my busy life, busy schedule, so no way I wasn't going to get down to getting down into watching it right off the bat. But I wanted to just go ahead and get into the presentation, things I wanted to talk about into today's show on Windows 11 announcement, which I had a feeling that they were going to get the into the touch, pretty much getting into the audience where they're trying to get people to buy like tablets. Touch people are just using touch screens for Windows, what do you call it, like Windows laptops, Windows tablets, which I knew that there was going to be an appeal for it too, not just desktop appeal, which I would say that this presentation, when I first watched it through the CNET channel, through other sources, I had a feeling that this is where they wanted to go. This is where they want to go for Windows 11, which is interesting enough too. And I liked the fact that they were gonna go through this as well, which I think it was gonna be very nice. How they were gonna present itself right there. So, well, I will go ahead and get onto the goods, the bads, all what I think about Windows 11 and and see what I think. So for now, let's cut to the chase onto today's podcast. Let's go into the capture display. Let's get right down on it. In fact, let me go ahead and blow up my screen too. And by the way, if you're listening to this via the audio, I will have the video version through YouTube and Odyssey as well too. Odyssey.com slash Leon LeGrape. In fact, I'll have the link down in the description if you prefer watching me over on Odyssey instead of the big evil YouTube conglomerate. By all means, go ahead and watch me there too. My video will be posted through Odyssey right away by the time I'm done uploading via YouTube, so it's automatically uploaded from there too. So with that said, let's get right onto the Windows 11 presentation. I will be pausing back and forth what I think about the presentation. So with that said, let's kick it and roll it right here.
Modern, fresh, clean, beautiful. From the lock screen to Windows Hello, Windows 11 welcomes you. We put start at the center. It puts you at the center. It's what you need closer to you, simplified. It's cloud powered to serve you the docs and the apps you need.
The new Start menu, with its simple, clean, and beautiful centered layout, is optimized so you can find what you need quickly. Use the search bar to find things anywhere.
Okay, so right off the bat, so just when I was looking at this video beforehand, I had like I said, I've had the feeling that they were just going to appeal to ones for work and productivity, and just for and also for tablet users as well too. So this is going to be something that they were trying to appeal over with Windows 8. Though I don't want to say that this is going to be they're trying to go over the same mistakes with Windows 8 or 8.1, but who knows if this is going to be an improvement over that too. But I would say that Windows 11 does look very pretty. I like the I will say right off the spot right here, when it comes to the layout, the way they have the taskbar centered out, it does look very elegant, smooth. Yeah, and it is quite different too over Windows 10. But overall, like I said, it is very, very different, and that's one thing I think a lot of users will have to get used to. So continue on with the presentation.
On your PC, OneDrive, and the web, use the recommended section to jump right back to editing. Start utilizes the cloud and the power of M365 so you can see your recent files. no matter what platform or device you were viewing them on earlier. In fact, I was looking at this Power and Simplicity document on my phone this morning, and now with just one tap, I'm right back into it. We're also making it easier to get started with new multitasking experiences. Windows has always been about helping you work how you want by offering the flexibility of using multiple windows on your screen. The ability to snap two apps side by side has helped busy Windows users for years. My team and I took the challenge to make an even more powerful way to help you create and be productive. Introducing Snap Layouts. New on Windows 11, layouts tailored to the size of your screen.
Now that's real cool.
Pick the layout that suits you, and with a couple of clicks, you're set up to do your best work. And Windows is going to remember this. You'll see what I mean in a sec. This is complexity made simple, but deceptively simple, because nobody else lets you do this with this many windows. With the new Start menu and Snap Layouts, it's effortless to find what you need to get set up and get started. Next,
Okay, so before we should get on the next one too. Now, that's where I like the part of this presentation is display. Now, I know I've always had trouble with displays and having to configure my displays right there. Now, by the time Windows 11 comes out, which I'm sure I'm a little bit I'm a little bit in the middle where how I feel about this presentation. Like again, like my thing about this is if you disconnected Windows 11, what would happen? Would you have to reconfigure things all over again? Will the display configuration will save everything for you? Stuff like that. You know, that's another question that brings me to asking, well, is this gonna work out really well? That's where I wanted to find out here with Windows 11. I do think this presentation does show that okay, this is going to make it easier, and I think it's going to be like very neat way you display your screens. In fact, I like that right there too. So right off the bat, that's one thing too. But again, we're gonna definitely have to see how the official release is going to be for now. But what I've understand as well is that the Windows Microsoft isn't going to force anybody to upgrade to Windows 11. So, and the good side on this is that at least if you're comfortable with Windows 10, if you like what you see, you can stick with it all the way until Windows 10 expires till 2025. So there's that there's that end of life support right there. So if you want to keep it that way too, because I know by the time Windows 11 releases, it's not going to be perfect by the time it releases. So you're still going to have some issues by the time with the stable version rolling out already too. So I mean, again, you gotta expect everything too. So as far as display, I like this part with this presentation. So let's continue on.
I want to show you how Windows helps you get back to where you were. Just when you get all settled in and organized and ready to work, along comes the inevitable interruption, a personal email that I need to reply to right away. Now with Windows 11, when you return to what you were doing after handling the interruption, or even when you return to the PC after being away from it for a while, you don't have to remember where you were or waste time setting things back up. Not anymore. This is Snap Groups, the collections of apps that I was using, sitting right here in the taskbar. Windows remembers and keeps them for me. I can get to it right from the taskbar where I'm already going to switch apps. And because they're right on the taskbar, you can now choose to switch between apps or entire projects. This is next level task switching. Bringing multiple windows back together is something you can only do on Windows. Sometimes switching projects or tasks means switching locations, like taking a call in a quieter space. So if you're not docking yet, and pro tip, you really should be, an extra monitor gives you more screen space to spread out. And you have the convenience of taking your device with you. When you do need to move around, the windows on your monitor minimize to your laptop so they don't disturb what you were doing. And now with Windows 11, And this
Oh,
is where the
that's neat.
magic really happens. When you reconnect, everything is back where you had it before. No more trying to remember what you were doing. No more reconfiguring your layout. It's just right back to the way that you had it. So relax and get right back to doing. With Snap Groups and the new docking and undocking experience, it's easier than ever to get back to being your most productive and creative.
I want to introduce you to a new feature, Windows Widgets. You saw this earlier. It's this beautiful sheet of glass. Windows Widgets is a new personalized feed powered by AI, serving you curated content so you can take a break at any time or just get some inspiration without ever losing your place. These and other innovations in touch, pen, voice, mouse, keyboard, they all come to life to help Windows adapt to you.
Windows 11 always feels like Windows. And you'll see what I'm talking about as soon as you detach your keyboard.
Oh.
It's the same beautiful center taskbar, just with a touch more space between the icons. We've added bigger touch targets and subtle visual cues
definitely configure
to make resizing and moving windows
figure things out. This is
easier.
really neat too.
You still have Snap to make
Okay, so it has a little bit of similarities with 10. So there's not a lot of change into it too. I personally like that. That's pretty fine.
the most of your screen, and when you rotate, not only is it smooth, but we've stacked them on top of each other.
Super cool.
Because it just makes sense. We've also added gestures because we know how important they are, especially when you don't have a keyboard. And they're the same ones you use on the trackpad today, so you don't have to relearn how to use your device. It's a consistent experience with subtle differences to make Windows adapt to you. Next, we've refined the different ways that you can interact with your PC, so you can use it however you want to. Many of you like to use a pen because it's a great way to sketch out ideas or highlight and take notes. With Windows 11, we're enabling haptics to make using your pen even more engaging and immersive. I cannot wait for you to get your hands on one of these because it's amazing to feel and hear the vibrations as you click and edit and write and sketch. Or you can use the new touch keyboard, which is amazing. There are new themes, so you can make it yours. It might even
So you
feel
got
like the one
two
you have on your
choices
phone.
too, which I like that.
You can swipe with your thumb, use the spacebar as a cursor, and it wouldn't be complete without emojis and GIFs.
Of course.
And last but certainly not least, voice typing. Arguably the fastest way to get your ideas
Oh,
down on
the
paper.
dictation.
Windows 11 is so good at recognizing what you say. And it can automatically punctuate for you. Cool, right? And there are voice.
Okay, so let's stop right here. I like. Okay, so the dictation. With I think that's where I've noticed this with Apple with the I like with iPhones right here, which I like. I like that part right there. That's not bad at all. I think this is where I think Microsoft can see the opportunity in improving their OS, and I do think this is a point that they are trying to get ahead with Apple right here with the dictation. Though I would say that when I'm speaking, and when I've recognized something right here was that when I'm speaking over with Siri, it doesn't recognize things I've said right off the bat too, and sometimes I would just have to go ahead and let Siri know. It's like, no, this is not what I've said. And if this dictation works, cool. I think there's going to be tons of people using dictation, which that's going to be a part that I think a lot of people are going to like about the new Windows 11. But it is quite different. But yeah. So again, the creative. So let's get into the haptics. The pen. I see about the pen is that I think there's going to be people that are going to be using the pen, especially people in the art world. That I think that's one of the appeals with the pen, not just the Microsoft Word processor, though I think it's going to be not just people using Word, but I think other formats, especially with Excel and PowerPoint. Now, those ones are over there. You definitely have to go with the keyboard, not with the pen. Now, though I don't know what features you would want to use the pen for too, but however, just what the guy is present that's shown right here presenting, that if you're using things to correct sentences or highlight things or words that you want to use over in the drawing tools, then great. I think that's something good to be said right there too. So for those that are using this very very actively, especially over at the workforce that are trying to use this out there for the workforce and things people are going to use this for. So again, this is like what I can put it is that this is pretty much a highlight eliminator. So or what you call it, like the physical tools that a lot of people are going to use. They're not going to use the pens, the yellow highlights anymore. So everything is going to be right there, right into your tablets. So that's going to be a big leap forward. And I think this is where Windows tried on Windows 8 and 8.1, and that wasn't a very big success. It was just a huge commercial failure when they tried to release it. And I could see what Microsoft was trying to do, but again, a lot of people were still used to the older Windows 7 layout and the previous OS layout, which that was a lot of people's attempt that they were already used to at this point. I tried, and I could see why Windows, or excuse me, Microsoft was trying to appeal to this to people like that too, and I can see that. I can definitely see the appeal right there too, and I think they're trying to get regain that. I don't know what's the word I could put that, but they're trying to get back with the core audience that are really looking forward to the tablets and all that too, which I think it is nice. I think the tablets are nice. I've actually used plenty of tablets from Samsung, probably Windows Surface one time when I was working over at a electronic retail. In tons of things, I've tons of tablets from different other brands, which some impressed me and others haven't. And I used to own a Samsung tablet at one point in my life, but I let that go because I was mostly using a laptop and a desktop at that point, which for me, I didn't think it was very useful. I didn't really like it. So to me, that's where the desktop pretty much was just on me, and I love using the desktop for work and personal needs right there, especially with creating content like this. So let's continue move on forward.
Commands. Delete that.
Windows 11 delivers the best PC gaming experiences yet. And that is why I am delighted to share what Windows 11 means for the future of gaming. First, superior graphics. Games can look better than ever on Windows 11 thanks to Auto HDR, which automatically updates your game's lighting and color to high dynamic range.
Wow.
We introduced this tech in our Xbox consoles and got an incredible response from creators and players. It's just awesome to bring this to Windows 11. The results can be dramatic.
That looks sweet.
Just check out this side-by-side comparison of Skyrim from our own Bethesda.
The lighting, the shadows, oh gosh.
On the left, you can see the game running in SDR, and on the right in Auto HDR. The colors and lighting are much more vibrant and lifelike with HDR, elevating the visual fidelity. The difference is stunning. With top-performing PCs running Windows 11, new games can load faster than ever thanks to a breakthrough technology called direct storage, which we first pioneered in the Xbox Series X and S. With direct storage,
so that's going to be synced up with Windows 11 very efficiently.
Without bogging down the CPU. This means you get to experience incredibly detailed game worlds rendered at lightning speeds without long load times. Direct storage optimized Windows 11 PCs are configured with the hardware and drivers needed to enable this amazing experience.
It's always about apps, and Windows has always been about apps. This is why we've rebuilt the Microsoft Store from the ground up, and we built it for speed. And it is beautiful. Oh, that's cool. I love seeing Disney Plus in the store. The store is so simple to use. Search is incredible. and it's still the safest and most secure way for you to get your apps on Windows. And we're making sure every app you need is there to create, learn, do, and play the way you want to. Android apps coming to Windows. And I mean coming to Windows. They can be integrated into Start.
Okay. This announcement right here, this is now something I'd love to get down and go over on more what he was trying to say. But before we continue on this video, I have to comment on the Windows Store, the Microsoft Windows Store. Nobody was even using it from the very beginning. For me, I don't know if there's going to be the appeal again and who's going to end up using the store after, I don't know. It was pretty much a ghost town. Very few people were really using Windows Store, and I see what Microsoft was trying to do with the Windows Store. So now they want to bring this concept back and improve it more so people can use the Windows Store too. Like it's just like the Apple App Store or the Windows or the Google Play Store that they already have, and there's tons of people that enter in the App Store all the time, and that's now what Microsoft is trying to do with this one here. It is really sweet. It is very, very nice what they've come up with too. I've no lie, but again, who is going to come in and use the Windows Store too? Because I think otherwise, a lot of people are just going to end up downloading applications from websites directly, then over using the Windows Store. I mean, again, Windows Store is a hit and miss. Now, guys, if you've used Windows, the Windows Store, let me know down in the comments down below, or anything like that too. If you've used Windows, let me know on your comments down, because I do want to head over and check up on the Android migration. So
they'll be integrated in your taskbar.
Or my integration.
You can window the way Carmen showed you earlier with these apps. And for me, like, one of my favorite apps is TikTok. It's true. And they're discoverable through the Microsoft Store using the Amazon App Store. It's really cool. And we use Intel Bridge technology to bring it to life, so it's just seamless and smooth. And these integrated apps, I mean, what it does is it brings you into Windows from the most professional editing apps all the way through to the most casual apps you can think of when you lean back on the couch, the way Philip had showed you, to just let Windows adapt to what you do.
Today marks a major milestone in the history of Windows. It's the beginning of a new generation. I'm excited by what we have shown you today and how we are reimagining everything, from the operating system itself to the browser to the store and the feed. I'm incredibly proud of what Windows has achieved and how it has fostered lasting opportunity for others. And I look forward to seeing what you achieve with Windows 11 and how it'll unlock enduring opportunity for people in the world.
Okay.
Thank you all very, very much.
So that's that. Okay. Well, all right. Well, we've already seen the super short 10-minute event over on Windows, and I'm sure there are longer presentations like this, but this is right here. I think it is very appealing. So I haven't got around to commenting is about the integration with Android. So getting into that too, I think it is very neat and very impressive. Though that's something I have not seen with Windows 10 before, and now with Windows 11, what they're trying to do is get this down with where everybody can start using this, which I think it is not it is not a bad way to do this. And I never seen a Windows like that with 10. I think it is cool. I think it is the way they capture it. What do you call it? Like a rectangular. The rectangular display is not bad. I like that too. Though I don't know how many people are going to use it, but I'm sure plenty of people are going to use it. If for those that have phones, and that can connect directly with Windows 11, that is great too. And I think that is a great thing that we're gonna see with Windows 11. Though I so let's get with the good right here too, right? Because I will be going over a little bit bit and pieces of it too, and on Windows 11, which I think Windows 11 it is going to be an improvement for those that have, somewhat an improvement for those have what can I put it this way? Pretty much for those that wanted to see that in 10 but have not. Again, there are so many things I've to catch up to. So before making this recording, I wanted one I can put out is right here is this, and this is what I'm gonna put in and bring in Windows Teams, and what I saw with Windows Teams, and when I first saw it, in fact, the way they try to use the Windows connectivity when in other presentations what I've watched. Windows
also
Teams actually
Windows
remind me of Messenger.
Windows
Teams. When I saw Windows Teams back in this presentation, I thought of Windows Messenger. And it's pretty much what I've noticed with this is that to me I don't think there's not a very big difference where I'm seeing right there too. And they're trying to recapture Windows Messenger. And for those that don't know what Windows Messenger is or have no idea what Windows Messenger at all. In fact, I remember downloading it back with Windows Vista, Windows XP days, where it was actually a popular messenger where you can actually use it to talk with your friends, your family on there, and so you guys can communicate with each other too, which that was very different. Back then too, you could just contact them directly. So instead of emailing them, you can do video chats, all that, and that was back in those days too. And that's where Teams reminds me of. So in other words, I think that's what they are trying to do. And that's I don't know who asked for this too. That's one thing I found a little bit awkward because one, let's put this down. You already have Skype, okay? You already have Windows Meets, which my take with Windows Meet is that it's pretty much for people in like the workforce, right? I get what they're trying to do. It is I think it is really lovely. Though I don't know if this is going to appeal to me. And again, who's going to use this? People that's going to be working remotely. So that is one thing I can say about that. Again, Windows Meet, would this be a successor or just another bombshell? Again, probably just going to be another bomb because again, Windows are try to just demonstrate itself over and over again. That's what I just don't like about this presentation or the fact that they were trying to appeal with other people and pretty much other people with this too. Like to me, I don't see myself using Windows Meet or whatever they've called it back then too. Again, it's just very, very different. So it's different with how they're trying to appeal this to, but again, is it so very different? Not really. There's not many major changes. In fact, they could have kept the branding Windows Messenger from the very beginning and just used it this way too. But I think where they're trying to aim at is just so confusing. The marketing is very, very confusing. That's where my take right here is that I just don't like it. And that's what really bothered me from that point is like, well, I see what you're trying to do, but I don't know if that's going to pretty much personally make me buy into it too. Again, it's not that the way I feel that I don't like the changes, but the changes what they're trying to present, it's not hitting anyone right there. It's not make me say, ooh, I'm gonna go ahead and get into Windows Me or whatever. And I figure that and also another thing I know why. they're trying to compete with the likes of Zoom, iMessage, FaceTime, right? And that's the whole purpose of this the video conferencing calls that they're trying to do. Again, not very big appeal, but if one thing the other positive I can say is that if this is something that they're trying to do is use Meets or Meets, for example, like you can use it to talk video chat with different people from Android users, or use it to chat with or cross, what you call it, cross platform, especially with FaceTime. I think that would make it a big difference, because I don't see that with Apple. You know, with Apple, it's very close, wall garden, wall garden, that you can't really talk with people outside of Apple. And that's where I can see the frustration why some people are just having a hard time with that too. It's just confusing. People just don't like the layout, and it's not that I'm trying to bash Apple. I think Apple is a good company. With certain different problems, I have an itch with them too. I just don't like the direction that they've had gone recently with Apple. In fact, I will say that is that good luck with Apple's M1 chips and their success, but you look at that right there with Microsoft, what they're trying to do. Again, am I always a fan of Microsoft? Not really, but look where they're going right there too. And if you want to get into the workforce remotely, many times out of 10, they are using Windows most of the time, because if you're using Excel, if you're using PowerPoint for presentations, you have to stick with Microsoft's Office suites in order to work with them too. And I think the other plus side I can say, the pluses over the negatives, is if you are going to use a Microsoft account, especially, I don't know, like Live, Hotmail, then yes, you will have to use applications, use these certain applications to synchronize your accounts or your work accounts, however, too. So that's a good thing I could see. I can definitely see that with Microsoft too. And yes, you do have to go and synchronize your your Microsoft account too, in order to in order to work. You know, that's the one thing right there, is that at least almost about 80% of the time you've got to have Windows for work, because that's how everything is driven nowadays too. So it's pretty much more Office oriented than anything else too. So also, let me just get right into the glass feature. In fact, one of the other presentations that I've seen here is the glass orientation. You look over here, you have the weather, you have photos, calendars, what is happening, all that. I think it's a very different layout too. Now using this as a taskbar right here, I don't know how many people are going to use the glass orientation. It almost reminds me of Vista. You know, in fact, way back then, that they were trying to appeal, like, let's say, the widgets bar, which to me personally, I didn't like the widgets over with Vista. Let's hope it doesn't repeat itself as that too. That same scenario, that it was quite of a nightmare. Let's put it this way. Again, not a big fan, but we'll find out. We'll find out and see from this point. So let's continue scrolling, and then we got Game Pass. Playtime anytime. So there we go. So right here, we've first thing I'm seeing is Gears of War on the left, Psychonauts 2, which I'm actually very excited about. And actually, I do want to go ahead and play Psychonauts 1 and finish that off before getting into Psychonauts 2. It looks really appealing. It's something I've never tried it before. I first heard this long time ago in the first Xbox, when that was pretty much released, which I would love to play it. And then you have play a Halo. I think it's a new Halo game. It's called Play Halo Infinity. if I'm not mistaken. Anyways, correct me about that if I'm wrong. But and again, like what's one of the things with Windows environment is that if you want to play those games, especially, you have to have at least a Windows operating system to play one of your favorite games, which at least about 90% of the time, or yeah, 95% of the time, if you want to play your games, you have to play it through a Windows, which is pretty much the operating system of choice, which everybody's going to go for it if you want to play your Halos, your Psychonauts, Gears of War, or your RTS strategies, whatever that may be. You have to do that. So that's the one thing I'd say about that is that, look, this is not about OS, but it is, like I said, it is a very different. It is something that you have to go for too. Plus, I try to play games with Mac OS. You know, they've never reached that appeal with tons of gamers. In fact, games that you can only play in Macs are very much simple puzzle games, shooters, basic RPGs, which you can actually play in the Mac OS, which is you can just play very decently, but it's not something that you can really play AAA games. That's one thing I think I will say with Mac is that's the disadvantage to that as well, which I don't like this. Like I said, I don't like to put them Apple down, but again, let's just be honest. They've never appealed to gamers, especially probably like small arcade games, like probably with your phones. That's the one appeal that at least they did go for, is people with iPhones, people with iPads, like Clash of Clans and Brawl Stars, all the youngsters like too. Which that's one of the appeals I would say about with Apple. At least they did well on, and I don't know how successful Apple Arcade is right now too. And I'm sure they're doing just fine with Apple Arcade. I'm sure there's tons of young people playing going for Apple Arcade. Who knows? I don't know the numbers, how much Apple made through there too. So besides, it's going to be something that's going to appeal with, and also just PC. Now, if you have an Xbox, let's say an Xbox system, so your games are going to be synchronized between PC and Xbox. So that's a plus right there too. And also, the lady that you've just heard that was talking about about Xbox. Now you have auto HDR, so the clarity is going to be super clear, unlike SDR. So it's going to be a very big highlight. I think a lot is going to appeal to people that are pretty much big into the whole graphics. Instead of that dark visualization with the dark gray clouds, you got the bright colors, which I think especially the sky that you've seen over at Elder Scrolls 5 Skyrim. Look at that. That was really beautiful. I liked it too. And so let's go to another one to mark up right here. So look, a PC for each of us. So like this one, for example, this one I'm seeing right here is Hewlett Packard's laptops and tablets. So that's another appeal that they're trying to go for those people are trying to appeal. Now, again, it's that I've always said that I don't know if Microsoft is trying to just appeal to the tablet and laptop users. Not necessarily, because it's going to be people that are using desktops as well. So who knows how successful they're going to be with trying to sell this out to people. Now, like I've said, the ones that are going to be using it for is artists, and people are going to go out for work and scribble notes and add things to PowerPoint. I think that's the biggest appeal. People that are working class people, especially the white collar workers. So who knows how that's going to work out right there too. Again, probably a big success. Who knows? I'm sure about that too. So let's get into. So before we continue on, let's get into minimum requirements. So with Windows 11, it requires 1 gigabytes or faster with 2 or more cores on a compatible 64-bit processor or system on a chip SoC. For memory, you'll need about 4 gigabytes of RAM, and then system firmware UEFI secure boot compatible. And then FTPM, which stands for Trusted Platform Module TPM version 2.0. Then graphics card. So let's read up on there too. So now with Windows 11, that's going to require everybody to go for DirectX compatible graphics. Display, which is 9 with HD resolution 720p, which is the minimum requirements for anything right now. So that's that. And internet connection. And then it says here, Microsoft account and internet connectivity required for setup for Windows 11 Home. So that's that right there. So that's one of the minimum requirements. It's asking anyone if you want to upgrade, so you have to go and follow these minimum requirements, those steps right there. So let's go over the difference. Over here, over on the FAQs, those frequently asked questions. So, and which it says here, Windows 11 has all the power and security of Windows 10 with a redesigned and refreshed look. It also comes with new tools, sounds, and apps. Every detail has been considered. All of it comes together to bring you a refreshing experience on your PC. Wow. Very, very, very different too. Not. Let's see. How much does Windows PC with Windows 11 cost? So it says it depends on many different manufacturers will offer a variety of devices that will run Windows 11, all at different price points. So they don't have any price points as of yet. They haven't even shown or shown any price points which devices are going to be available to. Is it going to be on HP? Is it going to be on Dell? Is it going to be on Lenovo? Who knows? So there's no price points available yet, so it's too early. Who knows why? But let's continue on. And one of the FAQs that says here, Windows 11 has all the power and security of Windows 10 redesigned, blah, blah, blah. Okay, I've already read that too. Hold up. Oh, there we go. So that's what I wanted to know. PCs that come with Windows 11 pre-installed will be available from a broad selection of retailers later this year. Details to come. So no announcements yet. So I know all this FAQs are going to be up to date. And so later on, we'll see where this goes and how it's going to be with Windows 11. And again, a lot of it is just leading me to more questions, especially the glass interface and the user interface. So another question I've had myself asking is like, for one, are you able to, instead of the center, now I wanted to know if you're going to be switching the taskbar to different places. Is it something that any user can go on and say, hey, I wanted to switch it to this spot or to that spot or whatever, right? And that's one of the questions I've asked myself is can you do it with Windows 11? And if you cannot, that's another thing right there. I want to see answered right here. So that's something that hasn't been answered, and which I've checked on Linus Tech Tips on today right there. So, and also that there what I've discussed on previous episode was that is this going to be something that you can just go back into the older interfaces, especially, I don't know, Windows 10 or Windows 7 interfaces? Because I do like the Astro templates, which I liked with Windows 7. Again, I know that not everybody is a big fan of over with Windows 11, the current design, and that's where I think I myself is asking that too. And there's a lot of things that haven't seemed to be answered yet. Again, that's something I don't know, and I am looking forward to finding out the answers to those questions right there too. But yeah, but what I will say, like just like I've discussed, the over in the video, I do like the display, what do you call it, the way that young woman took off the cable for the display for the second screen, which I like the fact that everything is saved for you, so you don't have to you don't have to go back and reconfigure everything all over again, which is I think it is really good to see that right there too. And who knows, this is gonna be a breath of fresh air. You don't have to tinker everything all over again. So again, that's pretty wonderful. Still, it is pretty wonderful. So again, I don't know. I'm not, like I've said, like I'm not a big fan of Windows 11 yet. That hasn't sold me too a lot right here too, because if they're trying to appeal to laptop users and quote unquote tablet users, then they're gonna have to do something to appeal with the cutting edge desktop users like me, like gamers like me. What's that's gonna sell out for me too. But as for right now, I'm definitely sticking with Windows 10. Windows 10 will still be the choice of operating system for gaming, and because right now that's what I can see myself using as of this time. Pretty much as of this time, it will be Windows 10. So guys, let me know what you think of the new Windows 11 features. What do you see with Windows 11? I'd like to know too. So with that said, thanks for checking out episode 160 of the Leon LeGray podcast for today. If you like what you've heard, and if you want to see more content like this too, please be sure to subscribe, to follow me up on YouTube, subscribe to me on everywhere that you see me on podcast services of your choice, such as Apple iTunes, Apple Podcasts, Google Play, Stitcher, Spotify, and everywhere else you want to follow me on too. With that said, thank you so much for checking me out on today's episode, and you guys are awesome. You guys have a great day. I'm going to be heading out. So guys, take care. Peace.